You wake up at 30, staring at the ceiling in the quiet of dawn, and it hits you. Decades have slipped by like sand through your fingers. Dreams postponed, goals abandoned, days lost to distractions that promised comfort but delivered only emptiness. In the world of 2025, the chaos is louder than ever. Endless notifications, digital temptations, news cycles designed to steal your focus. Every day you delay, opportunities fade like smoke, leaving you wondering if it's already too late. But here's the truth. It isn't. Imagine the contrast. One path leads to regret, a life defined by hesitation, while the other is forged in discipline, clarity, and resilience. Nearly 2,000 years ago, in a world equally drowning in chaos, an emperor named Marcus Aurelius stood firm. He mastered his mind, ruled with discipline, and left behind lessons that still whisper to those who feel lost. Today, you stand at the same threshold, and in the next few minutes, I'll share 5 of his timeless lessons. Lessons that can turn wasted years into a foundation for strength, resilience, and a future worth living. The only question is, will you keep watching or keep waiting? Lesson 1. Control the inner battlefield. The first lesson Marcus Aurelius leaves us is this: the greatest war you'll ever fight will never be out there in the world, but inside your own mind. Think about it. The endless cycle of procrastination, the whispers of self-doubt, the grip of addiction. These are not external enemies. They're battles raging within. Picture a 35-year-old professional. Exhausted after work, he promises himself just 10 minutes of scrolling, but hours vanish into the glow of a screen. Night after night, potential is sacrificed on the altar of distraction. Now imagine if that same time was spent learning, training the body, or building a skill. Within a year, the transformation would be undeniable. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. The world will always be noisy, unpredictable, and unfair, but how you govern your inner world determines whether you rise or collapse. Here's the truth. If you don't win this inner battlefield, every goal you set, every dream you chase will crumble under the weight of your own mind. So, ask yourself, who is winning inside you right now? Your discipline or your distractions? Lesson 2. Discipline over desire. Marcus Aurelius had access to every indulgence imaginable: power, luxury, pleasures that most could only dream of. Yet he chose restraint. Why? Because he knew that giving in to every desire chains you, while discipline sets you free. Fast forward to today, and the temptations are infinite. Junk food that numbs the body, endless streaming that devours your nights, social media loops that blur hours into nothingness. For late starters, this is the silent trap, believing tomorrow will be different, while today is wasted in small, seductive comforts. But discipline isn't about waiting for motivation. It's about building rituals that make temptation powerless. Picture someone who spent years drowning in late-night drinking, but one day chose a different path, trading the bar for the gym, the bottle for morning workouts. Within months, their body, mind, and future shifted. That transformation is available to you. But here's the danger. Every time you surrender to short-term desire, you're not just wasting moments. You're abandoning the person you could have become. So ask yourself, 10 years from now, will you remember the series you binged or the strength you built? Lesson 3. Embrace the burden and turn it into strength. Marcus Aurelius understood a truth most people run from. The weight you carry is not a curse, it's a gift. Obstacles are the raw material of growth. Think of 2 people, both 45. One looks at his wasted years, his financial struggles, his addictions, and says, it's too late. He surrenders, letting the burden crush him. The other looks at the same struggles and makes a different choice. He embraces the weight, using every failure, every regret as resistance training for the soul. Just like a weightlifter grows stronger under pressure, life demands the same. Without resistance, there is no muscle, no resilience, no greatness. Maybe you've lost years to procrastination or drowned in mistakes that still haunt you. But what if those scars weren't signs of defeat, but proof you've been training for the next chapter? Here's the hook. If you don't use your pain, it will use you. The burden can either bury you or build you. Which side of that choice will you stand on? Lesson 4. Live urgently, for time is slipping. Marcus Aurelius began each day reminding himself of a sobering truth. Time is slipping, every moment bringing him closer to the end. He didn't do this to despair, but to live with urgency. For late starters, this is the most dangerous illusion, believing there's still plenty of time. Picture two people at 50. The first shrugs, saying, "I'll change tomorrow," and 10 years later wakes at 60, heavier with regret, weaker in spirit, opportunities gone forever. The second begins with small steps, rising earlier, eating with discipline, investing an hour into learning or building. A decade later, the difference is staggering. One is trapped by inaction, the other reborn through daily urgency. Here's the reality. Your life's second half can burn brighter, stronger, more disciplined in the first, but only if you begin now. Regret doesn't arrive suddenly. It builds silently, day by day, until one morning you realize you've run out of chances. Don't let that be your story. Ask yourself, 10 years from now, will you wish you started today, or will you thank yourself for seizing the moment? Lesson 5. Serve something greater than yourself. Marcus Aurelius never lived for comfort, he lived for duty. As emperor, every choice he made was weighed against the responsibility he carried for others. That's the final lesson for late starters. When life feels wasted, when regret eats at you, the way forward isn't obsession with what you lack, it's devotion to what you can give. Picture a man who once chased status, burning years trying to prove himself. But when he shifted his focus, mentoring young people, pouring his energy into lifting others, he found a strength he never had before. Service transforms us. Family, craft, community, legacy, these are anchors that make the storms of life bearable. And here's the paradox. When your mission stops being about you, you gain more power, more resilience than you thought possible. Because resilience grows stronger when your life is not just about survival, but about contribution. So ask yourself, what greater cause will you serve? Because the moment you align your life with something beyond your own comfort, your wasted years turn into a fuel for a legacy that endures. You've heard the lessons. Control your inner battlefield. Choose discipline over desire. Turn burdens into strength. Live with urgency and serve something greater than yourself. These aren't abstract ideas, they're weapons. But weapons are useless if left on the ground. Picture the two paths one last time. One leads to 60 years old, broke, addicted, filled with regret for a life unlived. The other to a future where resilience, respect, and purpose define your everyday. The next decade will pass no matter what you do, but whether it passes wasted or transformed is in your hands right now. Marcus Aurelius faced chaos greater than ours and emerged unbroken. So stop scrolling, stop waiting, stop surrendering to distractions. Arise and start building the resilience that will rewrite your destiny. The time is slipping. The choice is yours.